Hi and welcome to a video brought to you by ReviewDailyLife.com. My name is Daniel and today we're going to be replacing some outdoor string lights. So I got these old lights, they're burned out, it's time for a new set. So this is the string light I'm going with. I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to a 12 volt power supply. So I specifically got starry lights that can handle 12 volts because I actually want to control it on my Lutron lighting system, and I can show you guys how to wire that a whole another time, or you can always check out my website, reviewdailylife.com, and I get into that further. But anyways, we're going to be putting these in. We're going to need zip ties. We're going to need something to cut the zip ties. So let me go ahead and get these old lights out of here. Now that I got those out of there, let's go ahead and open up this new box and I'll show you what they give you. They give you a controller with a little module. Do it yourself. So here's the remote that they give you. Here we are. Here's their receiver. Go ahead and plug that in. First, their power supply. Plug in. You're gonna have to pull your tab out. So I'm not going to use this remote or receiver, but let me go ahead and show you guys some of its features. You can dim it, you can brighten it. They even give you a few strobe settings. And then the other cool thing is you can actually just turn it off and on, all done with the remote. Now, this is the remote that I will use to control this. And I'll show you that later towards the end. So if you're planning on using the remote that they supply you with, you're going to have to figure out a way to get your high voltage up the umbrella, whereas I like to run low voltage up it. Just it's a little safer, and also I like to run that light off of it as well. And then I also got this fountain running down here. It's all just controlled through my Lutron Caseta system. I'm sure you noticed I cut my umbrella back. It's one of my favorite hacks. I mean, now you got this umbrella flat against the wall. All right, I think we're pretty set to go here. Just gonna have to unravel all this. It's about the easier on the roll. Let's roll this back up. Why don't we try plugging it in on my power source first, huh? All right, there we go. So when you're doing this, go ahead and bring your string lights all the way up to the end of the rib and back before putting on the zip tie. Then you can go back and zip tie the end, the center, and the top all at once. And when you're doing this, just kind of line your zip tie up with the back of the LED. It's going to allow you to tighten it. So now I just slide the zip tie, get all the slack out of it. Also, when you're doing this, leave just a little loop, and this umbrella will still be able to close up just fine. So I didn't have this much left over on the last run, but this would definitely be perfect for anyone that has a full-size umbrella. I don't think you want to be cutting this stuff to shorten it. I think we're going to have to just hide this somewhere. If you want to still be able to use your umbrella, you got to clear your rope. We're going to go underneath it. Now, I want to show you guys my Lutron Caseta system. Now, I am such a big fan of these systems. I actually install them at my work. But here's the remote that I use, and I put these stickers on myself. But I can go ahead and just turn off the whole patio just by hitting the remote. And the hub's all the way inside. And I'll show you how I'm doing this here. Now this remote will turn on and off the switch wirelessly, and it's controlling these outlets, which is controlling my driver, which is powering my lights, and it's also turning on that light. So we're going to check our pinch points and make sure we're not going to bind up on the wire, and then we can actually go ahead and roll the umbrella down, and it works perfectly fine. So now that we got it all installed, I'm just going to go ahead and show you all the features that this remote can do in more time. So there are three options to power these lights. First, you can have a battery style outdoor string light that comes with the remote, but the downside is you'll have to be replacing the string light batteries, and the LEDs will fade as the batteries start to lose power. Now, the second way is a hardwire low voltage up the umbrella, as I've done, which is a lot safer than running an extension cord, obviously. The downside of this is that you'll need to get a stronger power supply. The lights I have chosen are 12 volt DC and they need 12 watts. So I personally have chosen a 30 watt driver that's weatherproof and has a plug on it. I also power a few other 12 volt lights off of it as well. You really just want to try not to exceed 80% of the rate output for the driver. Also, make sure if your lights are DC that you're using a DC driver. If you're going less than 15 feet, then 18 gauge wire or lower gauge should work just fine. You can always refer to the AWG chart for 12 volt on Google. Then you can go ahead and cut the plug adapter off the power supply they gave you, which FYI is obviously going to avoid any warranty, and attach the plug adapter to the wire you have chosen with wire nets. You can then tape off the wire nets real tight with electrical tape to keep the moisture out of the connection. Now, doing it this way will allow you to be able to disconnect the umbrella easily if you ever need to, and you'll still be able to use the LED dimmer receiver if you so choose. The remote's pretty handy if you choose to just keep constant low voltage power up in the umbrella, which is always an option. You just keep the driver always hooked up to constant power, and then you just would use the remote that they supply. If you're having a hard time getting your lights on, check the polarity. You might have gotten the wires backwards, so go ahead and flip them around. It's probably all your issue is. if they're flashing, you either using AC instead of DC, or your power source is failing or malfunctioning, or you're using too small of a power source. So you're gonna need to figure out which it is and go ahead and correct that. Third option, you can always run an extension cord up your umbrella and zip tie the LED driver receiver unit up there with the power adapter. And whichever way you go, make sure you don't zip tie where the joint actually slides on the pole. Otherwise, you won't be able to roll your umbrella down. All right, that pretty much sums it up. I sure hope you guys enjoyed the video. I sure hope I've convinced you all that this is pretty sweet and that you all should put lights up in your umbrella. And I hope to catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please subscribe. We'd love to have more viewers, and we'll catch you next time.